sol la ti do, re mi fa sol la ti do.
Do you know all the words to that song? I definitely
the
know
scale. Do,
do,
re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Do, sol, la, ti, re, mi, do, something like that.
Does it go backwards?
Yeah, so it used to be do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. I don't know, fucking know. But you know. Yeah, you go back down. I was in musical theater for a long time, believe it or not. Because
I do believe.
I don't have any of the musical theater talent. But I was in the classes. I was there listening in the back.
You were
And actually, I was Simba in my 6th grade rendition of The Lion King. So
stop it.
Big role.
What
Singular
an important
character.
Yes. Wait, were you young Simba or grown Simba?
Oh no, Timon. I'm sorry, I was Timon.
Oh, Timon.
My bad. Simba would have been like
Not
the
this
guy.
bitch.
I was the lead character and a boy. Welcome back. Guys,
Welcome
how
back.
you doing? Do the intro, Cheech. Come on, get in there.
Hey guys, welcome back to Two Girls, One Bong.
The podcast that's better when you're stoned, and I want you to know I'm personally judging you if you're not. My name is MacDizzle.
I'm Joya.
Let's
dive on in.
Okay, so quick little about that play. So I was Timon, the little meerkat. My bad. Simba, Timon. It's a fun name. Same thing.
Equally important.
Equally important. The play I was in, right? I was Timon. My co-star Pumbaa. It was this guy named Austin Farmer. All right, and he came from this family, and their last name was Farmers. All right, and they were all. What's his last name? Farmer. I swear it was, but they were all like super musically talented. Like just like they were in bands. They played guitars. 100%. Like
totally.
One of them
so many families.
is in Young the Giant. That one fucking band, do you remember? My body tells me now. I'm gonna find the song.
No bells are ringing for me.
But in like 2013, they were super popular because they had a really big song. Yeah. Anyways, so my claim to fame, I acted in the play with the fucking band guy's younger brother.
That's your
and I knew him in high
fame.
School.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to find this song right now.
I'm also laughing because my sibling's last name is Farmery, so it's like farmer with an IE on the end.
That's
I always
like
made fun of them.
Farmery. I'm fancier than farmers.
Yeah, my dad said people used to try to say Farmery or Farmery, like a French accent.
Farmery.
Wow, that's so funny. I think you actually did tell me that. Oh,
I'm just gonna
bring it down by the mic. Sounds like a vibe. I haven't ever heard it, but it sounds good. Yeah.
In my circle of friends, it was it was on like the radio, like it would play at Buffalo Wild Wings.
I
like,
bet it was
just all
a
over
huge
the place
thing.
in my
yeah.
life.
In your like.
And I noticed it playing all the time because I was like, oh, I know those guys.
Yeah.
Young
and it's also super catchy. Sounds like super catchy song.
They made good music, and they played at our school. It was like all very cool.
That's awesome.
It was all very cool.
Yeah. That just reminded me. Hearing that just reminded me. There's this like cover band, that does like all late '90s, early 2000s, like punk, alternative, like whatever. They're playing in Austin this weekend. I'm gonna go see them. The name, you're gonna die at the name. The name of the band. It's Y'all Out Boy. Y'all Out Boy.
I'm upset by that.
I know. It's like what?
Why would you ever twang Fall Out Boy like that?
Truly.
It's
like,
funny. It's kind of funny.
It's a play, and everyone here, y'all is like the one word that every freaking person here uses. So it's like funny, haha, but also it's hilarious. Hang on a second.
How dare you make punk country? Punctury.
Come on.
Can you hear me when you walk away like that?
Yeah, I kept my headphones
on. You didn't laugh at my punctury thing. Thank you.
That was so funny.
Thank you.
But yeah, it is hilarious, like that they did that. I thought that was really funny. Y'all out, boy.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wee, wow.
Yeah.
Woo, wow, wee, wow. I'm gonna take a bong rip.
Yeah. No, don't you have your rig?
No. Oh, no. So actually, Deb, pause real quick. Yeah, no, I had to pause to let her know I want her hand in marriage.
And I said, yes, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. I just have to share with spoons.
Well, I just got
Are women allowed to have, like, so I understand polygamy, bigamy, I don't know what it is, but having multiple wives, like, illegal in some places. What if, say, I had one husband and one wife? One of each.
Ooh.
Is that illegal? Is that a legal loophole that I've found? Or is it just like one spouse,
I think
regardless of gender? Well, because sometimes you can't even have a wife in some states.
What?
Some states you can't even have a wife.
Yeah. Okay, so polygamy is actually just more than one marital partner. Being married to more than one person at the same time.
So that's what I'm doing. Big polygamy.
Exactly. Even though they're two different genders, you would be married to two people at once.
Oh, so then that's illegal.
But hey, there's nothing against being married to one and, having the other one.
I would never, first and foremost, could never. I don't have the bandwidth to for that. It's no. Yeah. I love my boyfriend and I spend all of my time and attention on him. I cannot imagine
to have a whole other.
Oh partner. My God. Who needs attention from me? Ugh. No. Yeah. Hard pass. Do we have any topics for the day?
I don't think so.
I think we might just do some Am I the Assholes on this fine afternoon.
Yeah.
We got pretty heated last week. You know what I've noticed about myself and that I hate? When I get frustrated or start feeling passionate about stuff, I have a really hard time articulating in a way that is in a way that I deem to be intelligent. I find myself rambling and like talking in circles a lot of the time when I'm not trying to get
concise.
Yes, because I watch people like debate on like TikTok and stuff. I'll see people like do like they'll like call in and like debate people.
Yeah.
And they are so good at like forming arguments and like backing themselves up and like poking holes in things that people are saying. And like I take like 10% of some of that information and I try to regurgitate it in my own way. And it's just so haphazard and like not organized. And it just sounds like anger.
Yeah.
Instead of like a concise and valid point, I just sound angry. And I felt myself doing that last week and I just could not figure out how to reel myself back in.
Well, that's a fucking skill that people like those people that you're talking about.
Yeah,
there's people that are born with some sort of natural ability, I'm sure. But in general, that's definitely a skill that people learn
and
over time.
It's always something I've had a really hard time with is when I'm passionate about something, I have an uphill fucking battle not sounding psychotic.
Yeah, or just getting upset in general. I feel like it's hard for me when I'm upset. It's hard for me to find the right words. Like in general, to be honest, I've been having in my brain, like especially when I'm like stoned, that's a thing, whatever. But I have been finding myself not being able to find words in my brain, even in simple situations, even when I'm not upset. Like it's harder for me as I've gotten a little older to sometimes I find myself looking for a word in my brain that is like so normal to me and I can't find it. And then eventually when I do find it, 5-10 seconds later, whatever, I'm like, wow, that made me feel really stupid. But I totally understand what you were saying about not being able to articulate as well as you'd like to when you're upset about something.
Yeah. And that's just like my biggest thing about having an opinion. And I have an opinion and a giant platform. And that's part of the problem is I'll have people with opposing opinions coming at me all fucking day. And I've gotten to this point where I don't even like responding because I know, well, if it's written out, I do a lot better. I can do a lot better forming an argument when I write it out and I can backspace and do all that shit,
exactly.
But on that same note, I find myself not necessarily being hurtful, but at that point, not giving a shit about how the things I say make that person feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's the best way to move forward, because obviously that person doesn't care how they. Well, I mean, that's not even true. It's a very complex situation for me.
I think it's more so about not necessarily how it makes the person feel, because obviously that person is, I mean, a lot of times they're an asshole too.
Yeah, but I also know that sometimes people are actually coming from a place that I don't understand.
Yeah.
You know? And it's not that they're a bad person. They're just coming from a place that I don't understand. You know?
Yeah, but I think that most of those people, there's sometimes where people are truly, like when they come to you with a counter argument, they are respectful, they are confused about something, or they don't know about something, or they're misinformed. But a lot of times, I think especially on the internet, people are so comfortable being like, fuck you and fuck what you think.
Literally.
And that energy comes through a lot. Especially to say that we don't know everybody. You don't know all these people that you're talking to. So you don't know if that
strangers. These are strangers coming and disrespecting you. It's like basically like the closest equivalent I can find is like you're walking down the street and a stranger like reads your shirt and confronts you about it.
Yeah, totally.
It's like, I don't fucking know you, bro.
And I would have never known who you are if you didn't say anything.
And like, you know something about me, like what? Like what? It's just so weird. It's just so weird.
Yeah.
And I also could never imagine doing that to somebody else. You know, like I saw somebody driving around with their fucking 100,000 Trump stickers, American flags, bumpers, everything, like fucking personalized license plate saying "I miss Daddy 45." It didn't actually say that. It said "I miss 45," but
oh my god,
basically he said I want to suck his dick and I love him so much. Yeah. That's what I read when I saw that. But I didn't approach him and say that. I didn't go up to him and like honk my horn and be like, "Hey,
you fucking idiot.
Trump fucking sucks." But guess what? If I had Biden stickers all over my car, that guy probably would have ran into me. Like, would have just T-boned me.
Because that's the kind of people those people are. But, I mean, yeah, it's like, you don't have to fucking... It is so easy
you don't have
to just scroll on by. Scroll on by.
I made a skit about that years ago. Years ago. And people still haven't figured out how to fucking do it. Unfollow people who you don't align with. Literally. I found myself I don't remember who it was. I think it was Summer Walker. She goes on these rants sometimes, especially during the pandemic. She was spreading a ton of misinformation and videos that was kind of targeted towards Asian individuals, and I just felt like it was hella disrespectful.
Yeah.
And I saw in her comments there were a ton of people checking her correctly, coming at her correctly, and explaining all these things to her. I felt like I'm not the person who can correct her on this. I'm gonna just unfollow her.
Right. When there's already a ton of other people saying what you're thinking anyway.
If somebody is saying something super off base, usually there's a ton of people checking that person. You know?
Yes.
And anyways, the internet is like the most amazing thing, but it also has created this insane construct where you can just say whatever the fuck you want to
with
anyone.
No consequences.
No consequence. Well, actually, that's not entirely true anymore. And people lose jobs and things like that because they say racist things, which I think is great. There's no difference between you typing something and saying something to someone.
Yeah, completely. Because you're putting your thought out there. If you would have just kept that in your disgusting little head.
In your gross little brain.
Yeah,
then still be employed. But go ahead.
Go ahead.
But like I was just gonna say, like on that same note, it just makes me feel like I am not necessarily scared to share my opinion, but I hate having a platform in which anyone who disagrees with my opinion can just be straight up disrespectful to me.
Yeah.
You know,
completely.
That's what I don't mind having an open dialogue with people and conversing back and forth. Like, that's fine. My issue is when people are just straight up disrespectful.
Which they oftentimes are.
Yeah.
Like 7 out of 10 times, I feel like, when somebody's expressing like a bad... Dude, okay, you know what? This just popped into my head. Several years ago, I was on a plane and I took a story of a baby crying before we even took off.
Mm-hmm.
I like took a story of myself like, oh fuck, like this is gonna be a long one, and I got probably, not MacDizzle and I always joke how influencers will say I got so many messages, but really it was like 2.
So many people ask me about my skin routine, and like one person DM them. Negative one person.
So I probably got like half a dozen messages, I'd say 5 or 6 from moms who were like
a lot.
Which feels like a lot, right? Exactly. From moms that were like, you don't know what that mom's feeling, like try being that mom with the crying baby, like whatever. And I'm like, I'm not. I do have empathy for her and the baby. Yeah. I don't want the baby to cry, not because I don't want to listen to it, because I don't want the baby to cry. It's uncomfortable in some way. Mm-hmm. But also, I can say I don't want a crying baby on my flight. That's uncomfortable.
That's unfair. No, I don't think that's unfair at all. I think if you're going to travel with children, you just need to be aware that you might be making some people uncomfortable with their behavior. And that's just what you have to deal with. They're allowed to be upset.
Exactly. And I'm not going to go to that mom and be like, shut your fucking baby up.
Bro,
I would never do that.
You know what the problem is, though? There are people who are outright fucking disrespectful. Shout out to a previous friend that I used to travel a lot with. And I remember one time I was sitting on a plane, and I had the seat directly behind her, and the woman in this, it was 2 middle seats, so it was a bad seat to begin with, but this person took a look at who was in her row, and there was a woman with a baby sitting in one seat next to the window, and like a man
in the aisle.
My seat was filled. It was 3 people back here. It was me, some young girl, and I don't really remember who was on my side. And she takes one look at the woman with the baby and then looks at me and she says, "Will you please switch me?" Just like in front of her like that. And I was like, that is... And first of all, I fucking hate kids. But second of all, in that moment, I felt so bad for the mom that I was like, oh my God, yeah, I would love to. Yeah. I would love to. I like acted excited about it because I did not want that mother to feel like just existing on this plane. Because the baby didn't even cry the whole flight.
It was just sitting there.
It'd be one thing if the baby was kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
Like to have a reaction, but the baby was just chilling. The baby was chilling. The baby kicked me twice during the flight, and it was kind of cute.
Yeah, that's what I actually enjoy, sitting next to kids. I mean, obviously, unless they're fucking crying, but
yeah,
I enjoy. It's like some stimulation for me. I'm like, oh, like smiling baby, happy baby, whatever.
I sat behind a baby on a flight. He was just chewing on the chair. His head was like he was like looking. He was like on his dad's like shoulder or mom's shoulder, and we could just see its eyes poking through the little crack in the seats, and it was like.
Build up that immune system, baby.
Yeah, I was like,
God knows what's on that fucking seat.
COVID.
They only started really sanitizing planes since COVID, I swear. They were just picking up trash on the floor before.
Barely, bro.
I know, and they still don't
picking up trash before.
Yeah.
I find things sometimes. I'm like, oh, hello.
Oh my God, I know. Like used wipes in the fucking seat pocket. I'm like, dude, wait, what? Like, that's
so unsanitary.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead. Well, with that being said, like, if you have a baby and you want to travel, go off, queen. But if your baby starts screaming on the flight, you need to understand that people are going to hate you. And that's just part of having kids.
Yeah. And also that's, like I've heard parents say that when their kid is crying on a plane, some people are like, oh, I feel so bad for everybody. But other people are just like, I want to figure out what I need to do to get my kid to stop crying. Because like you're focused on your baby. Your baby's uncomfortable for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And so they're just like, what can I do to make my kid not sad or whatever, upset anymore?
Because I've been the sibling. I'm sure my parents flew me around a lot as a baby. I was born overseas. I remember me and my whole family moved overseas, and my little sister was very young at that point, and she was throwing a tantrum on the plane. And so like just me being accompanied to the party of the person with the tantrum, like my mom was a scene on that flight, all right? Because my little sister kicked over a glass of wine all over my mother. Like it was a fucking show.
Your mom just trying to have a moment. She's like, let me fucking unwind halfway with this wine glass.
Traveling alone to a different country with 3 kids, one of them an infant. That's tough. Luckily, me and my brother were both literally 10 years older than my sister, so we were like fucking just good fucking kids.
Yes, you know, and you know, in that moment, as like the older child, like when the little kid is fucking freaking out, you know, to just be like, everything's good.
just do anything I can to help, please.
Yeah, like don't piss mom off even worse than she is right now. That's so funny.
That flight was actually pretty cool though, because me and my brother were both like adorable little babies. And so the flight attendants, I was like sleeping on the floor, and one of them like woke me up and they're like, "Do you want to come see something cool?"
Oh,
my brother was already awake, and I was like, "Yes." And they took us to the back cargo part of the plane, and they had horses.
What? Yeah. Oh my god, that's sick. That is like such a cool surprise. I thought you were gonna say like they took you to the cockpit or something.
And they gave me a free orange juice. No, no,
they're like, here's a snack and a napkin.
Yeah, they showed me horses on the plane. I was like,
wow, that is so cool.
Such a long flight, and we were going to an Arab country, so I guess there's like a lot of horse.
The Arabian horses. Those are the show horses that are fucking gorgeous, beautiful horses.
Yeah, I got to see some horses on a plane.
That's
it's
so
a
cool.
very,
horses
very
on a plane.
big memory, though. Got these goddamn horses off this goddamn plane.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, dude, I always tell the story how my mom had the 5 older kids and then 2 of my cousins, so 7 kids total with my mom alone. And one of them, I think my cousin Sarah, burst, and then it was a domino effect. And just about everyone threw up after that. All of my siblings, everybody has like a weak stomach. I don't have
when they hear someone throwing up, it
hear,
triggers them.
Smell, see.
Oh my god, I'm crying.
Yes, and so it was like one after another. I think there was probably one person that didn't puke. I
would be so pissed, and I would give the person who didn't puke a prize.
And I think my mom also threw up. I think she was also one of the people she definitely had a weak stomach for sure. But could you, traveling with children just sounds like a nightmare. Plus, you have to pay for them. You have to pay the same price for a child that you do for an adult.
No, babies, if they can sit in
under 2 is free, but over 2, same
over
price as anybody else. Yeah.
I mean, as they should.
But it's like,
dude, and they can be just as disruptive, if not worse.
Fuck.
So pay the full price.
Oh my god, yeah. Just imagine paying like $500 or something for your kid's fucking airplane seat, and then they're being an asshole. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Be grateful.
Parenting's a tough thing. That's why I haven't tried it yet.
I know. I'm literally fucking. Oh my god. I was at my sister's house over the weekend, and there is now officially 2 teenagers in the house. 2 girls, 2 teenagers. And it was
anger.
It was not good. They got into a fight over a computer. It was like just like
the 2 girls.
Yes, it was like
I remember one of them like punched one of the others.
They were fighting. Yes, they were like fighting. There was no punching, but there was definitely like pushing, slamming doors, screaming at the top of their lungs. Like, and this is at like 12 a.m. My sister had like went upstairs to tell them like, fucking chill out. This is ridiculous. And then she went back downstairs like to her bedroom because she has a toddler that was sleeping. And then at one point I went up there to check on my older niece because she's the more emotional one. Like she's the more sensitive one. The other one's fucking dude. I don't know what's in there.
Just a little sociopath.
Crazy. Yes. So I went to go check on the older one. I'm like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "No, I'm not. She came and she took the computer, whatever." And so I finally get her like calm down a little bit. She's also yelling, not yelling at me, but just yelling in general. And I'm like, because if your mom comes back up here,
sitting right here.
Yeah, I'm like, your mom is already pissed. Like, trust me, you do not want her to come back up here. It's a really bad idea. And so I finally get her to like talk at a normal level. And then my other niece texts her and is like, "Do you have something?" She was missing something. I don't know, a charger maybe or something. But she texted her. And then the older one is like, "Now she's texting me." Da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, well, just either don't text her back, or if she's not being mean to you right now, then don't be mean to her. Like, figure out a logical solution to this problem. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm going to go back downstairs to hang out with the rest of my family. And she follows me out of her room and goes directly over to her sister's room. And they're screaming almost immediately, like, just, I don't even know what the fuck they were saying. But I was like, this is really not good. And I went back over there and I was like, you guys, and literally as I'm saying, your mom is going to come back up. And my sister comes around from the corner. Is like, yeah, I fucking am. God damn it. Like, you guys don't fucking, like, she already warned them, like, you guys need to fucking go to bed, stay away from each other, whatever. And then there was a second
escalation
outburst. Yes. I was like, oh my God, you guys are, I personally would not want to piss my sister off. So good luck there, girls.
Oh God.
She's got a lot of years left of that too.
Oh my God. That sounds, see, me and my brother are literally a year apart in age, but wholeheartedly uninvolved with each other. Like, we're cool, we're chill, we're friends, but like growing up, minimal interactions. We never fought. We fought when we were like little kids a little bit, and I would tell him like, I'm never talking to you again.
Yeah.
For an
when
hour.
You're like elementary school,
yeah,
maybe junior high age,
and like we moved a lot too.
Oh,
so
okay.
We, like,
so that
only had each other for a while,
so then,
you know.
You're each other's like constant the whole time. There's one person that you know you had for sure.
Once we settled down and we had been in the same place for like a couple years, we were like, he had his own friends, I had my own friends. Because I used to hang out with all of him and his friends. And then when I finally like got into high school and got my own group of friends, like we just kind of stopped spending time together and we just never got in fights ever.
I didn't fight with my little brother in high school either. We were definitely by the time he was like 12, I'd say we were like just friends.
Yeah, we were chill at that point.
Well, that's good. I wish that for everyone. I wish those sibling relationships for everyone.
Yeah, because it's crazy because it was like once we became teenagers, that's when our fighting stopped.
Yeah.
It's just the two girls, like they became teenagers and now it's
no, they've been fighting their whole lives.
Oh, really?
They've had, I mean, like they also hang out because they're 2 years apart. So like if my sister takes everybody to the mall, like the two older girls will go off by themselves or like that kind of thing. You know what I mean? But, and they both have the phones. So they both like play the same games and whatever. So maybe that's why they fucking fight so much.
Just like, get another computer.
Well, so that's what my sister yelled down to my brother, one of the brothers that has a pawn shop. She yelled downstairs, I need another fucking laptop. So stupid. But then, my sister took the computer, obviously. No one was getting the computer that night.
You're not getting it tonight, though.
Yeah.
Well, you what?
And then the next night, the younger one was spending the night at a friend's house. And so the older one was like, Mom, can I have the computer since she's not here?
Did she give it to her?
Yeah.
Parenting's hard, bro.
Yeah, dude.
What the fuck?
Oh my God, yeah. It's fucking crazy.
Shout out to all the parents out there. You're doing the Lord's work.
Seriously.
Truly. I got a lot of respect. Although, if your baby's screaming on a plane, I'm gonna resent your baby a little bit. And if you're not even trying to shut it up a little bit.
No, most people, I feel like,
No, I've seen people who just sit there like this.
That's the other thing. A lot of parents are able to just tune out their kids. And it's like,
don't do that.
No, you better try something.
At least rock it a little bit. Yeah, you know? Rock it, walk it up and down the aisle. Give that baby
a fucking pacifier, like. And then you know what? If you've exhausted all your resources,
and it's still screaming,
then you know what? Yeah, it's
throw it in the bathroom and lock the door.
Throw it in the cargo with the horses.
Send it up to the pilot and let them handle it in the cockpit. All the screaming babies go into the cockpit.
As if that's not a high stress enough situation.
Honestly, planes basically fly themselves now.
Yeah, there's a lot of buttons though.
There's a lot of buttons. They basically fly them. They're fine. They can do a little daycare while they're in there.
Do a little bit of daycare.
There's two of them. Like, I mean, it doesn't take two.
And what baby wouldn't be like, oh wow, it looks like a spaceship in there with all the buttons and shit.
A baby who has separation anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah. But babies aren't born with that either. So
how do you get separation anxiety?
You don't ever leave your child ever. You keep them with you at all
like
times.
you sleep with them. You do that.
They take them into the bathroom with you. You take them everywhere you go.
No, there will be boundaries. I see people are like, show me your mom without showing. Like they held up objects to their child that belonged to the mother just to show how little private space they had.
Oh, yeah.
And they would like they'd hold up a bra and the kid would put the bra on just because they saw the mom do it. They knew exactly how everything worked. And then the last thing they pulled out was a tampon. And
it knew where to put it.
They
oh my God, that's so funny.
Absolutely not.
I know.
Boundaries. Get out of the bathroom.
When they're babies, like when they're infants and they can't walk yet, it's like you can leave them in this room in their bed or whatever really quick while you go to the bathroom. But when they're toddlers and they can walk and it's like a dog. It's like our dogs. Yeah. They follow you everywhere. Like
here's the thing. I shut my bathroom door and my dogs sniff outside of it.
Yeah. Sometimes I let them come in with me in the morning, or if I'm like just getting home from somewhere and I go in the bathroom, I let them come in. But definitely, if I'm going to be in there a little bit, then I shut the door.
Because here's the thing. My dogs have separation anxiety. So I'm off to a bad start here as far as raising things. Yeah. So I'm like, give me some notes in case that ever happens.
There's also, it's not just that the kid, because, I mean, when you're a parent, you do have your kid around all the time. Like, that's part of being a parent. But there's parents that are like a close friend of mine. It's actually Lexi Novak's nephew. When he was like 4 the first time I met him, and he could not be like, we all went to a football game together and the dad walked over to get a water bottle or something and the kid started crying because he's like, where's my dad, and they're saying the mom is like at all times like does not when the kid goes to the playground, like the mom is on top of him, like watching his every move, like those kinds of things. When your kid like doesn't, when you don't like give your kid the freedom. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure there's more to it. I'm not a fucking child psychologist, and I'm not a fucking expert on parenting, but that's just
welcome to Two Girls, One Bong, where we both have PhDs.
Yeah. Where we teach you how to be parents, having never parented any children in our entire lives.
Yeah, like I said, shout out to all the real parents out there doing the damn thing. I really respect you because I don't have the balls. Truly, I don't have the balls to do it. Well, we were kind of rambling for the first 30 minutes. I don't know where we started or how we ended on parenthood, but that was fun. We're going to be reading some Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole? Chances are, yes. Mm-hmm. These are always like, am I the asshole for kicking my grandpa out? Story. My grandfather was a Nazi. Like,
yeah.
No. But you know what you're doing.
Oh, or then it's like, am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend I don't like her outfit? And then it's like, my girlfriend put on an outfit and I told her she looked like a fat, disgusting pig. Am I the asshole? It's like, yeah, you are the asshole.
I think these people know if they're the asshole or not, usually.
Right, you know whether or not.
Let's see. What the fuck? Okay. Am I the asshole for letting my friend live at my house rent-free for 2.5 months without asking my roommates?
Probably.
Sounds kind of... Yeah. I'm in college and I leave and I live in a house with 3 other girls. I have my own room and bathroom. I have a friend, we can call her Amy, who comes from a poor background. She studied abroad from January to March, but had nowhere to live after March. Amy surprised me by showing up in our college town, and of course I let her stay with me. We never talked about how long she was staying, so I never asked my roommates if it was okay if she stayed with us. Amy bounced around between a few houses, but spends her days at my house because she isn't in school and sleeps there 3 to 4 nights a week. Amy cooks, does her laundry, and showers at my house. Okay, well... Anyway, she has lived out of my house for about 10 weeks, and out of the blue, my roommate got incredibly mad about Amy being at our house. The other 2 roommates are cool with Amy, but this girl does not like her or me. My roommate claims that not only does Amy owe everyone utility money, correct, but $300 for the inconvenience of her being in our communal space during the day, correct? My roommate never brought it up before, or I would have told Amy not to be in our kitchen/living room while she was there. Am I the asshole for having absolutely no intention of paying my roommate's inconvenience fee and continuing to let Amy stay at my house?
Yeah, well,
Yes.
you just made yourself the asshole with
You just
that
made yourself
last.
the asshole with
Yeah,
that last statement.
because paying for the utilities is totally, that's like standard.
Fair.
If you're staying,
basically what you're doing is you're saying that your roommates now have to pay for Amy.
yeah,
And that's fucked up and that's stupid and that's not fair.
yeah.
Like, if you want to have Amy in the house, then you need to pay Amy's utilities.
And also, she's like, out of the blue, girl. It was not out of the blue.
Probably
that was
not out of the
festering.
blue.
That person didn't have the balls to tell you, didn't want to tell you, whatever.
That person has been waiting to see, like, is she really going to be staying here
for
this
fucking 2.5
long?
months?
Like, she was honestly very cool with you for letting you keep that person there for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Literally, like, that's insane. That's 2.5 months. That's insane. That's a
and to not pay $1, the utility that is literally so standard. If you're staying,
and I
with
think
a
you
friend
need to establish, like, with your friend here who's living off of you, sounds like a really convenient situation for her. 2.5 months, still not employed, doesn't go to school during the day. Just like, coming from a poor background doesn't mean that you can't pay your rent, bro.
Or yes, to do something.
Doesn't mean you can't go get a fucking job and pay rent. Like,
yeah, pay the utilities. That's like the easiest freaking. And so that's why the person asked for extra money, because they're like, she's been fucking taking up our space and hasn't paid anything.
Well, not only that, like, she's using their fridge, their stove. She's cooking there. Like, if I know me as a person, like, if I'm in my house and I know somebody I feel it has an unfair situation and is like living there for free, and I hear them in the kitchen cooking their food, I'm going to be pissed regardless if I need to use the kitchen or not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that just makes me angry just to hear them moving around.
Mm-hmm. Oh my
God. That's so unfair.
It just
$300 a month, I feel, is totally reasonable.
Yes, that's like nothing.
And plus utilities.
I especially too, what this girl could have done is say, you can only use my things, you can only use my cookware, my food, you can only sleep in my room, you can't hang out in the living room all day while I'm not there. Or like when I'm cooking with you, you can cook. Yeah. Like, it's like I think that's insane. Well, because I wouldn't mind. Well, and this is all whatever, but I feel like if I would mind less if the person was cleaning up after themselves, not using any of my things, staying out of my space. Like, that's easier to digest and paying some fucking money. Yeah. See, it's the not paying any money for rent and refusing. Yeah. It's her friend defending her. I don't think she's even brought this up to her. She's just like, oh no, you can just stay here. Yeah. You made a bad move. Yeah, dude. Because I've been in the position of, like, a friend needing a place to stay and me volunteering my home, and it was at the time I didn't have, like, roommates like that. But I also laid out a plan. I was like, we're gonna get you a job doing this. We're gonna do this. This was for Lexi. Obviously, she didn't ever end up moving in with me. Mm-hmm. But I would never just be like, been down to go get a job and pay her. No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I know for certain, but like, I just can't fathom that. Just like, yeah, come stay with me for however long as you need. After coming home from studying abroad, which is a huge privilege, first of all. So coming from a poor background, like the math. Well, she very well could have gotten a scholarship for that, but it's like, do you really not realize the position that you're in to have the opportunity to go live somewhere else and study abroad? That is like rich girl shit. Yeah, that's like very much. Yes. So yeah, that just reminds me of our Adam and I situation with our old roommate, how he was like, he agreed to pay rent initially, and then he just, like, after like a month or two of paying the rent was just like, oh, I can't, and whatever. And it was very awkward. The same person, we had to kick him out twice. He, like, had moved back in with us saying that he was gonna pay his full fair share and, like, whatever else, and he didn't. It's always awkward. Those roommate situations are always so uncomfortable. That's why I don't have any. Bro, that fucking part.
Like, once I didn't have roommates anymore, I was like, never again. Never again. Once I had a
Completely.
backyard, never again. Like, backyard, no roommates. I will never go back.
Mm-hmm.
I will do whatever I can to maintain this kind of money so I can stay in this kind of living situation.
Something else I would never do is no fucking central AC.
Bro, need central AC, need wood floors, need it.
Yeah.
I need something not necessarily wood floors, but not carpet.
Hard floors, not
I
carpet.
can't do carpeted floors. That's fucking disgusting. They get so dirty so quickly.
It's literally so gross. Our carpet, like, I've literally only lived, this is my 7th month living here, and it's like already like, we probably need to get, you're supposed to get them cleaned. They say to get them cleaned every 6 months in general. But it's like,
where do you have carpet?
The bedrooms. All the bedrooms have carpet.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So it's not that much. Yeah, and we've talked about taking it out and putting something else. But yeah, dude. Man. Anyway, that person is the asshole. So
definitely the asshole.
Bitch.
10 out of 10, the asshole. Sorry, I'm like toggling this mute button because these fucking dogs are being nuts. I'm trying to spare you some barks.
Thank you. This person was deleted their page, so they must have been the asshole. Not their page, but their post they deleted.
This post has been removed.
Yeah. Okay. I, 29 female, live with my partner, 33 male, since 2020. Am I the asshole for wanting some freedom and not respecting my partner's wish? Okay, so I left a psychologically abusive household. I was constantly paying attention to not make mistakes, and I had to stay in my bedroom in order to be safe. I really had no freedom at home. I was crying every day. Having a simple dinner with my parents was like facing hell to me. I'm explaining my story to give you the reason of my behavior. I feel like I was in survival mode until I moved into my partner's house. I still don't feel completely free here. I can't find a job, so I need to rely on my partner financially. Everything was okay between us until he bought a new home. Now it's really stressful to live with him, as every time I do something wrong, I feel judged. He often complains about how the house is not clean enough or about spots in the white sink. I explained to him that my life can't be cleaning all day because I also have many projects in order to find a job. Moreover, I suffer from an illness and mental illness that make me struggle many days. Every day feels the same for me. I clean, I cook, I do the laundry, and I study and work for the project. I rarely go out, also because my boyfriend doesn't want to go out and to be alone is a bit boring. I don't have a single friend here, so I'm bored, especially because my partner works all day. But every single time I talk and play with my group of friends on Discord, he asks me to lower my voice because I'm bothering the neighbors. I have my friends' session at night once a month. It's supposed to be my only real moment of freedom. Yet I can't be free even in those 4 hours from 8 p.m. to midnight. He also makes me feel guilty for, quote, abandoning him. He's never happy for me having a good time with my friends. Today I had my friend's session. I cursed while playing as a joke, and he looked at me with a shocked face. "Don't bother the neighbors," he said. I swear I'm not even a talkative woman. I don't even speak much. So, am I the asshole for wanting more freedom in those 4 hours and not respecting my partner's wish to make a good impression on the neighbors? That guy sounds like a fucking asshole. Nope.
He sounds like he doesn't like you that much. He sounds like he resents your behavior. Like, it sounds like he doesn't like that you don't work. He doesn't like that because you don't work, you're not upkeeping the house, and it's just, I think he has certain expectations that she's not living up to. And because of that, he's now disrespecting her as a person, and he gets annoyed with everything that she does.
There's definitely resentment there, 100%. And it's also, don't bother the neighbors. Like, just say, "You're being loud. I don't like it."
Yeah, just say that I'm annoying you. Like, that's what he's saying.
Exactly.
That's what he means,
But it also sounds like to me like she probably, and this is what we all do in our trauma and just our habits, we go and, like, especially when it's you grow up in a certain type of environment, either you go completely the opposite way of that, a 180 from that, or oftentimes people find themselves in a similar situation because that's what is familiar to them. And that's not something that humans do consciously, I don't think. Like, you're not looking for qualities in people that remind you of your abusive parents, but it happens a lot. Sounds like that guy's not very...
He's not good for her by any means at all. But I don't want to sit here and demonize this person as a bad person. You know, I don't know enough about them. Yeah. I think he's annoyed with her, and I think he's not compatible with her. And I think she needs someone who's a little more sensitive to mental health and those issues.
He also is not good at, he's not communicating effectively.
Not good at communicating. So, and they sound like they're young. If she was like living at home.
She said 29 and 33.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. So also, follow up. So she's working on a project to get a job, which I don't fully understand.
I think she's in like graduate school or something. She said, I study and work for the project, and she's working on a project in hopes to get a job. So I think she might be like in a higher level of education.
And I respect and I get that. I'm wondering, so is it like an online class A? You not have peers that you can interact with? Because it seems like a lot of her problems could be solved by going and finding some work, whether it's in the field that she truly wants to pursue right now, maybe not. But that would expose you to humans where you can have relationships outside of your boyfriend, where you can have friendships.
Yeah.
You'll have more time away from the house, from your mundane, boring routine. You will have money to contribute to the household, which I'm sure will make you feel more confident as a person. And you know, I just feel like, and I don't know how old this post is, but I know that there's a million jobs available right now. I know it's not the job that necessarily everybody wants, but there's a million jobs available right now. And if only to use it to help your mental health, to just like make you feel like you're more on your feet. Exactly, to have something to do. I feel like that's worth it. And you can still do it part-time to where you
aren't gone. You're not. It's not taking up all of your time.
It's not taking. You can still study and do everything that you're doing. You know, because it sounds like you have a lot of free time right now.
Yeah,
that's what it sounds like to me. I mean, also I don't know. Didn't she say like, oh?
She said, I clean, I cook, I do the laundry, and I study and work for the project. I want more context on that project.
Yeah, what is this project? And also, it's 2 people. How much cooking and cleaning and laundry? If you put it off, but if she's saying she's doing this every day.
Well, there's people that are anal that need to clean, that need their house clean every day. It sounds like this guy is anal. It sounds like he's somebody
like super, super anal.
Yeah, who expects like no dust on the floor.
Not the kind of person I could ever be with.
Yeah.
I have mental health problems. I relate to this girl a lot, you know? I relate to her because I have a hard time cleaning and doing all of that shit. I truly do. But I also know that there are things that I could be doing to alleviate
the stress that it brings you.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
definitely.
I just choose not to some days.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, I do most of those things. Adam and I probably cook half. Oh, well, and I don't clean by myself either. And I definitely don't clean every day. But if I was cleaning every day, I would definitely I would demand some fucking respect. If she's the only one taking care of the whole house, she's not doing nothing all day.
No, that's fucking hard work, bro.
Yes. So it sounds like this person does not respect her at all.
Yeah.
But also,
it seems like
girl,
he's the asshole, not her. She's fine. Yeah. I think there's things she could do to help herself.
Yes, exactly. It sounds like, but also, I think that once this person does go get a job and find some other outlet, she's probably not even going to want to be with that guy anymore.
Literally, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it seems like it's a really good thing for her to do, because it feels like she's there because of circumstance, not necessarily because of choice.
Yeah, totally.
You know, he's what's convenient for you right now, so you're kind of using him a little bit, and I respect that.
Seems like the type of
fuck his house.
Yeah, should be used a little bit. He's a dick. Don't bother the neighbors is so annoying to me. It's like,
like literally, what the fuck do I give a fuck about the neighbors? Eat my butt. I'll tell the neighbors to suck my dick. Shut up.
I could not. I would have to scream so loud and for like such an extended period of time for my neighbors to even hear me.
And also, my neighbors are super nice.
Yeah.
Like, my neighbors are super
like,
chill.
do you think your neighbors really care if she plays a fucking video game once a month? Like, literally shut up.
Yeah.
But, girl, go get a job. Do something.
Go join a boxing class or something. I don't know.
Yeah, totally a hobby. Yes.
Find something.
Go on a freaking nature walk.
Go touch some grass.
Yeah, go touch some fucking grass.
Unless you're allergic. I'm a little bit allergic. I used to be super allergic.
Aren't we all a little bit allergic to grass? I feel like it freaking, some people worse than others, obviously, but it makes me, certain types of them make me itchy.
There was one track meet I was at for my brother, and I was sitting in the grass all fucking day, and I came home, and in the middle of the night I was like,
oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Like bad?
It wasn't super bad. I just took some Benadryl or antihistamines or whatever the fuck that was, and it went away.
But still, oh my god.
But I was like, oh my god, am I dramatic?
Yeah.
Little grass is gonna take me out.
That's so funny.
Yeah, pathetic. Weak genes. All right, so let me see this one. Open link. Am I the asshole for trying to talk to my boyfriend in the car while his music is playing? First of all, no.
This is me all the time. Turn it down. Can't talk.
On my phone, so I apologize for formatting issues. Okay, so my boyfriend really enjoys music. He's one of those people who really gets in the zone when he's listening to music, which is fine. However, when he comes and picks me up to go somewhere, he starts shushing me. That's so rude. Just imagine you're like, oh yeah, and so today, shh.
He's like, shh.
What?
And turns the music up.
I would literally be like, who are you talking to right now? What? Okay, it's funny how different people react to different things. Yeah. You know, because me, I'm not shutting up after that. I'm talking louder.
You better not ever shush me in any situation unless it's something, there's an announcement happening outside that we're all gonna die and you need to hear it. Yeah. Then you can shush me.
Troy, shh.
Yeah.
He's right behind the corner. All right. So okay. It picks me up. He starts shushing me while music is playing, and I'm trying to talk to him. He can listen to music at any point during the day, and I don't understand why he has to do it when I'm in the car with him. It's not like I have anything against his music or the fact that he likes music. But when he comes to get me to go somewhere, is it a bad thing that I want to talk to him? I just want to hear about his day and how he's doing, but he starts telling me to be quiet when his music is playing. And if he picks me up, then how can he expect me to not want to talk to him? I might be overreacting, but I just want to know what y'all think.
This is interesting because first of all, don't shush her. What Adam does, if he wants to listen to a song, but I want to talk, he'll pause it.
Yeah.
He'll be like, wait, and then if he...
And that kind of lets you know.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, then he wants to listen to this song. Yeah, but it's not the whole car ride. It's not, it's one or two songs. If he wants to show me a song, or if he just is like, oh, this song's been stuck in my head all day, I really want to listen to it. But it's not the whole car ride.
Yeah,
and
that's super weird. What a weird, I just can't imagine being around somebody who does that kind of stuff.
Especially when he's weird. He's picking her up from wherever she is. When
that's your first time seeing her?
Yes, for hours or whatever. Yeah. That would make me feel really, uncomfortable. But then again, to look at it from his perspective, listening to music in the car is way better than listening to it in headphones or on a speaker in the house or something. It's in the car is a totally different experience. So if that's a time that you want to use to listen to music, I don't know, maybe
take the long way there when you pick her up.
Yeah. I like to talk in the car. If I have somebody else, I listen to music loud when I'm alone. But if I'm not alone, I'd like to talk in the car.
Chit-chat.
So
I like to chit chat.
Yeah. Yeah. So oh my god, there's this video of us from Vegas from years ago. Hang on a second, I'm gonna find it because I just came across it recently and I put it in my favorites.
What were we doing? We're
just
being Australian.
Noises.
Oh, just
that too. Oh my god, please let me find it. Please, Lord Jesus.
Were we drunk?
Yes.
Oh god, it's gonna be so obnoxious.
Oh my god, yeah. Hang on. I remember what it is now. It's 2019. So we're going to go.
That was 3 years ago.
I know. Like, what? That is freaking insane. So crazy.
Bro.
Okay, wait. Well, first of all, this photo of us. That was at your Valentine's Day thing. Okay.
I was having a hard time in that moment. I was like, Joya.
Okay, listen. Oh, shit. Hang on.
Download it. You remember that song?
Yes. Yes, I do. Okay, this is another one, though, from that same trip, same night, too.
Have you ever met your favourite Australians before? You know it's crazy. It's like Australia. There's kangaroos just hopping around. Yeah, there is.
Just hopping around.
They're marsupials. They're not mammals. They're not birds. Why would they be birds? I don't know.
So that same night, just to get off track here a bit, that same night we were at a party in that video, we were at a party. And, yeah, if there's one thing about, me and MacDizzle, we're going to do a fucking Australian accent. And so that night, it was in full effect. Like, we, did not stop, the
when
whole
we're
night.
around each other, we can't stop.
It's literally, it's like a fucking addiction. It's like, I have to do this.
Because I hear her say something with an Australian accent, then I have to respond with one.
And then it's a cycle. And then it's just...
You can't stop.
So, we were doing it all, it was the entire night we were talking in this fucking Australian accent. And so, fast forward 1 year, and we are at the same event that we were at that year before doing the Australian accent. And we met someone who was just working at a booth or whatever, and he was looking at us so confused. And he was like, wait, I thought you guys were from Australia. Do you remember that?
Yes. No, I literally remember that. But what makes that me believe is he remembered us. He put us in his little memory pod. He's like, those two Australian girls. I can't believe I met two Australian girls in Vegas. Not Australian at all.
Oh my god. Holy shit. That is so funny. Oh my god. Yeah, that goddamn Australian accent. We can thank it was definitely Aaron who started it, and you and I just really.
Well, also, though, I have an affinity for accents. I used to do a British accent in high school all the fucking time. I had a friend named Sydney, and we would study for our marine science test together. And the entire time we were studying British accent, hardcore British accent. The
That's
entire
actually
time.
so smart because it makes that connection in your brain,
and it made it fun too.
Yeah,
we were just laughing at each other. Coddle peduncle.
What?
It's coddle peduncle. It's a part of a fish.
Oh, okay.
And saying fish parts with a British accent, hilarious.
Coddle
10 out of 10.
That's so funny. I also absolutely love accents too, and did for a very fucking. I mean, it's just fun, but especially the British one. I think it's because our
once
same
I started
language,
once I started doing the Australian, I lost my British. I had to start watching British things again. I'm like, all right, I might be able to UK.
Yeah,
it's hard to differentiate in my brain.
Mm-hmm. You have to try really hard to keep the British, and then there's also different British accents. There's different fucking.
I realized I have such a vocal fry. I am so Southern California in the way that I speak.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize it was an accent, and it's very much an accent in the worst way. Not howdy, y'all. I don't say words weird. I'm just I fry.
You drag it out. Yes, definitely. Aaron told me when he watched that video of Julia Fox, the one where she's uncut gems. He told me that literally he said he thought of me watching that. And I was like, wow, that's mean. And he was like, I said, I don't really talk like that. And he was like, girl, when you get high, when I start smoking,
your vocal fry when you're stoned is insane because you do this, you go at the end of things all the time.
That reminds me of when I was like a kid and I would go, no. And I'm like,
No.
and now it's like a, yeah, no, yes.
Yeah.
That's funny. That is, you're right. It is an accent.
It is a hard accent and a terrible one. And it's just like, I don't even know why do we all speak like that?
Well, why do they all speak like that anywhere? You know?
I
It's
guess,
just what
but
you
like,
learn.
but this, cause like, I guess that's just a way to say things.
Well, it's what you grow up listening to and hearing.
Yeah.
It's not. It's in your family, in your school, in your community, at the gas station that you always go into to buy a fucking whatever. Like
That's true, but there's also such a diverse population of people in California that I hear so many accents on the daily. Like my landlord has an accent.
We're talking about years,
but also
we're talking about decades of like that's what language. I mean, that's literally how we learn language. It's like it's what we listen to all the time. Yeah, and also, you know what? Our generation, like, I feel like there is a lot of reality TV. I mean, still is, but
the Kardashian fucking empire.
Yes.
Jesus.
Like,
I talk like her and it kills me.
Yeah.
I don't talk I like a little bit. I catch myself sometimes saying things and I'm like, you're not from Calabasas. Stop.
Yeah. We all have a little bit of Kourtney Kardashian in our fucking dude. There was a girl that I went to get my lashes done. Like, not my main girl, just another girl that I had went to, and she literally talked like this the whole time. And I was like having a hard time not laughing at her because I was like, I know that's not just your, like, there's no way that's your real voice 100% of the time. But as far as I could see, I mean, it was the entire time. It was a 2-hour appointment or something.
Oh my God.
So
a long time to maintain things if she's faking it.
Yeah, right, exactly. If it's not real, then wow, that was
Although
dedication.
we were Australian for several hours.
Honestly, for years.
A weekend.
At this point.
A weekend.
Right, yes, exactly. Carrying it on constantly. Oh, wait for me. Dude, I got new, like, weed yesterday. You know how, like, when you're smoking, wow, you fucking bitch whore. I literally just said, wait for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll pack another one.
You're a bitch. What the fuck?
You're like my baby. I just tuned you out.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I was going to say how I got new weed yesterday. You know how, like, when you're smoking the same weed for an extended period of time?
You know how you switch that up?
Yeah.
You put wax on top.
Oh my God. I just did that yesterday. You know what? I should have been doing that for the last week or two.
That'll help. All right, but cheers.
Hang on. Cheers, bitch.
All right. Well, that's going to conclude this week's Padiana Castiana. We will see you next week.
Thank you for coming.
We love you.